This is the 20th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, Aftco, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. It is the day 2 recap, early on day 3 of what happened during our Master Angler Quest Challenge, whatnot. Matt STEFAN sitting across from me as always for this week as we chase 6 In Fisherman Master Angler species. And going into yesterday, well, first of all, we're doing the show today, Matt. Why are we doing the show this morning and not last night?
Dude, how are you so chipper this morning?
I'm always chipper in the morning.
You were like running around the house. Yeah, we didn't.
Well, that's because I have clinical ADHD. So I just kind of wake up. I kind of wake up like, boom, let's roll.
You're ready to roll.
Yeah. You're not like that. Court's not like that either. Like, we've had talks where she's like, hey, go be chipper, like in a different portion of the house.
No, you know what's funny is I am a morning person. I'm not a morning person if I don't get my sleep.
We got 5 solid hours.
Yeah, I'm a solid 7.5.
I'm not. I can't tell you the last time I slept 8 hours.
Yeah, no, we didn't get back till I was probably 11:30ish by the time I was in bed. I mean, it was and like actually sleeping after midnight again. I'm running. My tank is on E.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, because I woke up and I am dressed like the ultimate In Fisherman angler.
You look dapper.
I feel like I'm on the verge of a lawsuit from Babe Winkleman as well.
Yeah, that is straight out of the Babes collection.
Yeah. Now, if I throw it over to Charlie to see what's happening in the kitchen, then we might have some problems. You remember that?
Yeah. No,
I'm Charlie Winkleman, and today we're doing a nice walleye casserole.
Yeah. Well, we could have definitely brought home 500 pounds of fish after day 1.
Yes. All right. Here's what we're going to do, and then I'll let you get into the details. Okay. I offered you a Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't necessarily have. I just need to get moving. I need fresh air is actually what it is.
Oh, we're going to get plenty of fresh air.
You know what's funny
today
about this? Like, talking about In Fisherman, when I was younger, when my dad would be like, we're going fishing.
You'd be like me.
He'd come in, he's like, I'm going to wake you up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. We're going to go. He would like touch me and I would spring out and like clothes would be on, like boom, ready to roll. The older I get, I
would wait outside my parents' room or my Uncle Jeff's room, fully dressed if I knew we were going the next morning. And I would literally sleep outside of their room like a Labrador.
So they wouldn't forget you.
No, so I would know. Like, because when I was that age, I didn't have oh my God, I might be sleep deprived. What's it called when a thing wakes you up when you're asleep? An alarm. Because I didn't have an alarm, right? So I was always worried that Uncle Jeff or my dad were going to oversleep through their alarm. So I'd always stay outside of the room just to make sure that they didn't oversleep as soon as that alarm went off.
Yeah.
I sounded the alert.
I was the same. I actually couldn't fall asleep. Like I would wake up every like hour because I was that excited we were going fishing.
Yeah, I don't have that problem now.
Yesterday we drove twice as long as we actually fished.
Yes, we fished for 6 hours. We drove for 12 hours.
I think I've come to the realization that might not be a good strategy.
Are we doing fitty? We have to do fitty. Oh, we had a 24-hour day yesterday. Like right at.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Because we got up I was up a little bit before 2 a.m. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick BTL this morning. But we had to keep the streak live. We had to recap what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we were exclusively going for a 10-pound or 24-inch largemouth bass. And I thought there was one place that really would give us the chance. Now, that being said, it was not a bite factory. Like you knew going in that this was not going to be a cast, catch, count, and mount scenario.
there's only one place I would feel relatively not confident, where I feel like I'd have maybe a shot. If you gave me a handful of hours, and that was where we went. And
like in the country.
Yeah, like in the world, potentially. I guess I don't know about everything, but you're talking a monster, world-class size bass, and there's not many places. But generally speaking, if you're going to a place that has those quality fish, like the places with your best odds, they're not normally like fish factories. They're not places you go to and you expect 100
Mexico
bites.
is about the only place that you get the bites and the size. And if you guys are interested in going to Mexico December 9th through the 15th, we had Josh Daniels on from Pro Bass Adventures a couple weeks ago doing a deal with them. So his contact info is in that link in the description. Also Bacharach for giants. But I think there's probably about 5 lakes in the world that you could have the same odds.
There's not many that are within driving distance for us right now.
No, this was in driving distance. So we're going to walk through our day. And we'll.
And speaking of, okay, finish your thing.
Well, we had to have them. We're gonna walk through our day.
Being sleep deprived for this is not a good thing, because that leads to problems.
Then we'll kind of talk about what we're gonna do today, and then we're gonna get in the truck and drive some more, and hopefully knock out either some more. Keyword more. Multiple Master Angler Awards from In Fisherman. All right. How do we dive into this?
Yeah,
do you see a downside to this, to telling this part of the story?
Well, so the way yesterday went down is it's a classic fishing day. Like, this will be a story we tell for a long time.
Ever.
But it's also one of those stories you don't necessarily feel good about sharing.
We're talking about off the water stuff.
Yeah. Like a lot of times things happen to get to the water.
Yeah. So I wonder if I should just run out and take a picture of it. That way I can show what we're talking about.
You can. It's up to you.
Do you have something to talk about for 30 seconds?
It's so early in the morning. I can't. You just asked me that, and literally nothing. Like, I just thought about space.
You thought about space.
That's how bad it. What can I think about?
What were you? Here's your deal. What were your thoughts on how this challenge would go before you came down and then after 2 days? Because I know you've shared some thoughts with me. Like, what did you think it was going to be like versus what it's actually like now that we're 2 days in?
We're only 2 days in. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'll tap.
Well, you can start, and then that way, when you're rolling, then I know that you don't.
Yeah. So with respect to the challenge, this was something that Matt and I we had talked quite a bit prior to this. You guys know that we had a bunch of different BTL episodes where we were talking about the strategicness of how you want to go about this. Do you want to pick regions that have multiple lakes that are good for a single species, regions that have multiple lakes that are good for a lot of different species? The challenge is so logistical that was a big part of it. And the reality is, even though you may want to fish 5 different lakes in a day, catching a master angler is so hard in itself that it's, in my opinion, almost worth going to certain places that give you the best odds at that fish and not even leaving, versus being like, okay, we're going to bounce all these lakes
100%.
with a shot at this. Because there's so many different things that are working, right? The idea of just conquering the challenge is something that we only really thought about. What we didn't think about at all was like our mental state throughout this process, and like
is your mental state fragile? Because mentally, I feel fantastic.
I feel I am having a blast, but mentally, what I mean by that is like thinking about things like your sleep, thinking about how you're going to get to these locations.
I don't think about that either.
I know, and that's where we failed on this. Like it is like I feel after 2 days of this, I feel like I just fished 30 days straight.
I am in the same,
which is crazy because this isn't that much different than a week of tournament.
But it is, and I don't know why.
I know that's what I'm getting at. Like, it's so mentally, I feel so much more drained after 2 days of this than I would after 3 full days of practice, which are almost the same amount of fishing, but there's no driving that's involved.
And we put all of this on ourselves too. That's the crazy thing.
And I do feel in a way, I feel like we're failing with respect to the competition. Like we talked about, I don't know that to do this the right way, we can do this just ourselves. Like to if we had a camera guy following us who could like work on behind the scenes things, whether that's putting stuff together for us or whether that's doing driving for us and filming the whole thing. Basically, somebody to do everything other than the fishing for us. That would be perfect. Like that would be a perfect scenario. And then stuff like this wouldn't happen.
I agree. I look at this screen in here and I feel like I should run like a cheese curds ad.
Yeah, we could probably talk to Mullins Cheese or Dairy State Cheese, local cheese factories.
All right, I'm going to show everyone a picture, and then we'll dive into the story in the morning. This is how I keep my boat in my garage. And it is the breakaway tongue, and there's a couple things. That's the picture I'm going to show them, Matt. There's a couple things you need to notice here because this is one of the wildest things I've ever heard.
And you do this to keep the boat. It won't fit in the garage.
Yes. So you tell them you break the tongue, and then I tell them what's on top there.
Yeah. So in order to stow the trailer in the garage, you pull a couple of pins, and then that allows you to swing like 3 feet of the trailer into the side of the boat, which then allows the whole trailer to fit in the garage.
And notice where the pins are.
Yep.
See there how they're setting.
Yeah. So you tell them So it's your process, right? So when you back up, you put the boat in the garage, you pull the pins, you put the pins on top of. There's like a little step.
Yeah,
so that when you come in the morning,
I never forget it. I swing the tongue around. I pop in the 2 pins. You put the, what did you call those? Cottering pins?
They're cotter pins.
Cotter pins underneath. Boom, good to go. So yesterday morning, it's 2 a.m. Cold. We're both excited.
Didn't
little
go to
bit
bed,
sleep
but we
deprived.
got 2 hours of sleep.
Yep. And I walk out to the garage, pop the door up, hit the door up, door goes up, start the truck, back. I mean, but the truck, what?
Oh, it's sound effects this morning.
What does the garage door
sound like? It is a very unique sound.
It's creaky, but classic garage door.
Yes.
So anyway, with that trailer swung like that, all I do is you swing the trailer and it goes right on the ball hitch because that's where I left it when I backed it up to take it off. So I swing it. I start the truck, and then Matt, who came out 10 seconds after me outside, drops the trailer on the trailer hitch and hooks everything up, gets the safety things, puts the pin in, drops it. I pull out, and we're good to go.
Yep, that's how it went.
And we're, what is it, 2:30 in the morning?
Well, you did also ask me if I put the pin in.
Yeah.
And I said I did, and then questioned why you didn't have a
lock on
Durasafe lock on
there.
Yeah.
So we get gas up, and then I'm ready to get to our destination. So it's 2:30 in the morning. There's no one else on the road, and I'm booking it.
Yeah, you were hot last. You were letting the truck eat.
Yeah.
You were excited. I was excited to get to
our
destination.
We were both very excited.
We didn't get to our destination, though.
So I get 21 miles, I think is what it was, down the road. Like enough to where you're out of town.
On like turnpike.
You're on a turnpike. And I just, the way that I tow, and I didn't even realize I did this, but your eyes just kind of dart from side to side. You're checking the tire pressure. You're checking to make sure the trailer's straight. You're checking to make sure the boat looks good. You can tell it feels good. And it's just something that I do probably like every 30 seconds or minute while I'm driving. Like I'm constantly just kind of, checking it, which you said is a good sign of a quality tower.
Yeah, I think that's something that all like the anglers that are have been doing this a long time. We're trained to do that. Now, we don't even know we're doing it, but I mean, like our mirrors are huge when we're towing. We're always just like you said, our heads are kind of going like that, making sure everything looks good. Because the sooner you can spot a problem, the better chances you have of limiting any major issues from happening.
Perfect. So that leads me into I spotted a problem. The trailer looked a tad. It just looked a tad. When I glanced back in the rearview mirror, the trailer did like a wiggle, and the truck hadn't done a wiggle. And then I saw the bow of the boat just bounce up real quick. I said, that's not good. I said, because Basscat builds their own trailers, fiberglass trailers, they are the boat. The way it's worked is like locked onto the trailer. The trailer is locked down. Like there is no squirreliness in a Basscat boat trailer combo. And you can attest to that.
Yeah.
And I immediately put my hazards on and started to pull over. And I said, something's not right. What did I say? I said, because of my throat, I said, something's wrong.
I think you said the boat's not strapped on.
Yeah, the boat's not strapped. And then as we slowed down, I said, did you put the pin in? Did you put the pins in? Like fairly aggressively. I felt bad afterwards because I was stern.
Yeah. Well, you said, did you put the pins in? And I was like, pins?
Yeah.
I said, I put the pin in. And you're like, there's 2 pins. And I sat there just dumbfounded.
And you're like, what are you talking about? And I said, the freaking pins in the top that attach the breakaway trailer to the actual trailer. I said, did you put those in?
And I just looked at him.
What are you talking about? And I jumped out of the truck and I go back, and the only thing that is attaching the boat to the truck is the hinge of the breakaway tongue.
Yeah.
Because the strap is loose, because in order to break the tongue, you have to do the strap. So I didn't tighten the boat back down. And then I didn't check. I just noticed that you had strapped it down. We were both tired. I didn't even check. You didn't even know the pins were supposed to be in there. You thought I had already done all that.
I don't even think I had recognized at that point that you were breaking the tongue to put it in the garage.
It's because it's so seamless. I can do it in like 20 seconds.
Well, but it's more so it's because of the way we had been doing it. Like, so your garage is attached to your house. So like if I'm in the house, you back the boat in, the garage door
ready to go.
The garage door was, I don't think the garage door was ever shut like during that process. So like I'm in the house, you break it in, I go back out to the garage. I never even would really dawn on it. And then when I came out that morning, you had already pushed the tongue into place and moved the truck into place.
So the truck was already in place. That's key.
Oh, okay.
Because I wouldn't have moved the truck into place if I had not. If I had, what I do is I open the door, swing the tongue, drop the pins in, and then back my truck up.
But
to
how
it.
come you didn't put the pins in when you swung?
Because I didn't have to back the truck up. Because the truck was already there from the night before when I broke the tongue. And the way that it worked, I was tired. And as I walked past, I just swung the tongue. And instead of spending the 20 seconds to 30 seconds to put the pins in, I thought, I'll go start the truck because it's 40 degrees out. Yeah. I'll get the truck warmed up. When I went to get the truck warmed up in that 3 seconds is when you walked out behind me, saw that the tongue of the trailer was over the ball hitch. And like any normal person would do, say, hey, let me crank this down for you.
Yeah,
it was in our tiredness or exhaustion that then I didn't think, maybe we should go put the pins in because Matt doesn't have a Basscat and doesn't know how that stuff works.
Well, and that's, my assumption when I see the trailer tongue sticking out or sticking in the normal position is that the pin's in. So it never was something.
Yes, Jody White would like some progression in this story. Because he said, so the real problem here is now the pins are somewhere along the highway and there's no place to get more pins at 3 a.m.
Does Jody White have to go fishing this morning?
Yes.
Because I think there's 2 other guys that need to go fishing this morning. So Jody White, just simmer.
And then he had a joke. Or does Matt carry spare trailer pins?
That's the thing I do. But we were in your truck.
I think he was talking to me. Jody White knows that I would not carry spare trailer pins. So this was the thing that really freaked me out. A right hand turn.
Yeah.
That trailer, the trailer was free swinging behind the boat on that hinge. Now that was a beefy hinge because I'm sure Rick, when they designed that, was like, hey, there's going to be some dumbasses that forget the pin. But it's a double pin system. But there is absolutely no reason that boat shouldn't be in a ditch somewhere, ripped off of the trailer with the truck flipped over because we were attached to it.
And you driving excitedly to get to the lake.
Yes, driving very excitedly. This is wild because I took a picture of this to show you. This dude, the Champlain kid, he just posted. He said he posted this yesterday. Right where the trailer tongue breaks, boat snapped off, went shooting into the woods. Saw that yet last night, like at midnight.
Honestly, I feel like we should have rolled over on any turn into one of the.
Oh,
like any of the clover leaves onto.
I was going Ario Mandretti.
Yeah, you got a new truck. You were excited.
I know that I switched the first letters of that up. That was a funny joke.
I didn't get it. It's too early.
Mario Andretti and Ario Mandretti. So we limp this sucker back to our house, and now we're in straight scramble mode because now we're already over an hour late because we had stopped to get gas, and then we were 20 miles away, and then we went 40 miles on the way back to get back home. It's 3:00 in the morning. This lake is 6 hours away from the house, and we were planning on getting there between 7:45 and 8, and now it's looking like we're not getting there at all. So we go back to the gas station to see, like, for some bizarre reason, if, when we turned in, you were like, maybe when we turned in, and we pull in very slow, and you're like, well, there's not a bump there at all, because the key to this, now this is the problem. It was the very smoothest. The problem now is these pins and cotter pins that were setting on top of the trailer are now missed. They're somewhere in a 21-mile stretch between my house and where we noticed this happen. These pins right here. That's exactly how they were sitting.
You look just like Babe Winkleman.
I know.
It's impressive.
I know. And I also found wound stitching. So it's tape that specifically pulls the thumb together.
You tape your toe on too?
No, that's feeling a little bit better. So I said, dude, the road that I live on is a little bumpy.
It's under construction.
I said, maybe there's a snowball's chance in hell.
Well, when we stopped at the gas station, we did find one of the cotter pins. One of the cotter pins fell onto your step.
Clay, they didn't rattle out. They just were setting on top of the top. Like they had never been put in. I never put them in. Matt never put them in. We were running down the highway on a trailer that was not attached to the boat.
Yeah. At
all. In any way, shape, or form outside of a hinge that used to swing away tongue hinge.
Yeah. So
there was a cotter pin sitting on the doggy step.
Yeah. Is that that's what the footpaws? They actually have a doggy step.
Yeah, it has little dog paw prints on it.
4 dogs?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just do. And you get Fido up in the boat. I mean, everyone uses it as a
Shouldn't
human
they
step.
Be cat steps?
You know what? I think it probably is cat steps. That's probably the cat, bass cat.
Yeah, okay.
That's never thought about that. Never put 2 and 2 together there, Matt Stefan. Let me see if there's a picture in it to see.
Sidetrack.
Those look like dog or cat. Those look like cat steps, don't they? Those look like paw prints or dog prints?
I think it's a mixture of both. I don't know how many pads a dog has versus a cat.
Here, I'll show this. Is that cat or dog, people?
I'm going to go with a cat.
You think those are cat prints?
So we turned onto your road, full of construction.
At 3 a.m. And we're rolling. And we get about a mile from my house. And that was the one that we both went,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Clear as day.
Clear as day, sitting in the middle of the road, shining. There is one of the pins.
Yes. Without the cotter pin.
Get out. But the cotter pin's in my pocket because that's the cotter pin that had made it for. So now we've got a pin and we've got a cotter pin. So I'm like, dude, we might be able to go fishing here. Because that's a double duty. Like there's 2 pins. 1 pin. We probably weren't going to go with 1.
No, but we could put 1 in and have a functioning trailer.
Yes. So we get back to the house, and I put the one pin in, and we put the cotter pin in, and we're like, dude, how lucky is it that that cotter pin didn't get lost? We put the one in. It was at this point that we, like, the adrenaline was kind of coming down. So we had been exhausted. We were excited. Then we were upset. Then we were scared. Then we were anxious. Then we were disappointed. Then we were happy again. Now we're excited again. So we've been through a range of emotions in about an hour and a half. Right?
Yeah.
So I turn back around, and we're headed back out. We're going to try to go fishing again.
No, yeah, we had the boat at that point.
Yeah.
Stay local.
Yep. And I was like a half mile from where the other pin was. I'm like, there's something in the road. And I stop, put the hazards on, get it. By God, it's the second pin. And I run back. Remember, I said, oh my God, there it is. And then I turn back, and about 50 feet away from that is the second cotter pin. We got everything back, and we didn't total the boat.
Yeah. But it's cost us several hours. And at that point, we decided we're still going to Big Bass Land.
Yes. So to Big Bass Land we went.
And we got there. I don't think we were actually fishing until close to 11.
It was 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
By the time we were fishing.
Missed the morning bite.
We can make this pretty short and sweet. Do you want to give up the goods, or do you want to direct every... See, so here's the deal. We're on two different platforms, so I don't want to, like, piss off the diehard BTLers who deserve to know what happened if they don't watch it.
I think we should give them the outcome. They deserve that.
The outcome is we didn't catch a bass.
Yeah, we had one bite, and it was a monster.
Yeah, it was a 10 plus.
And I fumbled.
You didn't fumble. It wasn't meant to be. A fumble would have been not ready. A fumble would have been out of position. A fumble would have been you broke it off because something in your terminal tackle wasn't dialed in. We got on a giant.
There was no error in my part, in my belief. Basically what happened was the fish hit it so hard and came at me while he was coming at me that when I set the hook, it was almost a complete whiff on the hook set. By the time I caught up to him, he was 20 feet on the other side of the boat.
You can see the actual hook set. You can watch it. You can diagnose it yourself. 4 p.m. Central Time today, Matt STEFAN Fishing YouTube channel.
And we, not to turn anyone off, but we worked that fish for quite some time with the scope. So it wasn't like it was just, it felt big. The fish was giant. You only catch giants on that lake.
It was a master angler.
I mean, it was an A+ for sure.
It was in a bush, and you could literally see it in the middle of this tree. And it would slowly swim around, and it came out of the tree. And it sat literally in front of the tree, and you presented a bait perfectly to this fish. After we had been in there for 10 or 15 minutes going, we can't leave until we get something that this fish can see, because it is that big. You could see the details. You could see the tail kicking.
And that was at 80 feet out.
And I literally looked at you. I was trying to get something. I was trying to get a big bait down to it, and I got hung up, and I'm like this. And when I panned back, I'm like, God, look at, and then I said, what is that above? I said, is that your bait above the fish? And you could not get a word out before I could hear the line. Like, I said,
yep. And set the
I can, when a bite they say it's a rod, rattles the rod. When that fish hit 30 feet in front of us, 12 foot down, you could hear the fluorocarbon in the guides pop.
Yeah.
It was that violent of a bite. You could hear him go.
Yeah. And he hit it coming straight at us and never stopped coming straight at us, which is another sign of a giant fish. Needless to say, you can watch all the footage on my channel if you'd like. I'm going to put this
also
out
encourage
there.
Anybody who hasn't to watch yesterday's show, the hybrid and white bass beatdown, where we narrowly missed 2 other Master Angler awards for both of those species. That was a fantastic day on the water.
Yeah.
I never had a bite. We saw 4 fish all day. We got a shot at 2 of them. One of them wasn't interested, and one of them it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's that. Well, we're going to take another crack at it today. We're going to 2 or 3 different lakes where there is a viable. There have been multiple fish over 24 inches caught. I have caught fish over 24 inches out of everywhere we're going today.
Yeah, I feel confident we're going to catch some fish. We'll be able to put together some more good content, I feel like, for the fans. Yesterday's video it's somewhat entertaining. It's not the same caliber as the first day, so I'm just going to put that out there right now.
I think it's better, quite honestly.
You love it.
It's the reality.
Yeah,
the problem is
you love it.
I feel bad that you had to do all that editing because there was a stretch in the probably about 8 to 12 minutes after you lost that fish where I don't think I made a complete sentence without saying the F word in it.
I think we got most of those out.
Okay. And it was just, I was jacked.
Yeah, it was, dude, that was the thing. And so because of the drive to get back, I mean, we had a long drive back. We didn't want to get back at 3 a.m. So, I mean, we fished till 4:30ish. I don't know why you're laughing.
Oh, because Mike Marini goes, so basically what I'm getting from this story is that Matt Stefan couldn't pin the trailer or the 10-pounder.
So the pinning of the trailer,
the pinning of the trailer is on. No. I will take full responsibility for the pinning of the trailer because it is the driver's responsibility to do one walk around before they pull out to make sure that everything is copacetic and ready to go. So I'm going to
say 2 lessons learned from this. One, if you ever pull the swing tongue trailer out, you always put the pins in following that. I'm not saying to you, I'm saying in general, like
which I do.
If the tongue's out, pins are in. If the tongue's in, pins aren't. And then 2, lost my train of thought because I'm the second thing is, we talked about this, you know, we're just trying to help each other. And almost always, anytime there's an issue with something that happens with the boat or the trailer or hooking up, it's almost always when you've got 2 guys that are together trying to help each other because one guy doesn't fully know the process.
That's how you leave a strap on. That's how you leave a plug out.
Well, it's just things are different too. So like I run a Skeeter. Skeeters don't have the same pin system that the Bass
I would
Cat
have
does.
no clue.
So I never would have I would have looked at those 2 pins and been, why do you have 2 pins? And there was just communication error. So like when you asked me if I put the pin in, I said I put the pin in because I thought you meant the coupler locking pin. Anyway,
like I said,
I'll take the blame. That's fine.
That one is on me. Don't take the blame on that. That one's on me because
I lost the big bass.
I was supposed to do that, and I don't think you lost the bass yesterday. Yet you will watch in. No. You didn't fail. Yet you didn't do.
It's okay. I'll take it.
You didn't do anything wrong on the fish.
It's been that kind of year, man.
You're a professional.
Lots of lost
Listen,
fish.
I said it was just not meant to be on that fish. You did absolutely nothing wrong. You had your line, your rod, your reel, your bait, the positioning, the cast, the hook set, everything
got owned.
No, there was nothing that you could have changed at all on that.
I do agree with that.
The only thing in hindsight is you don't set the hook and you wait till you catch up till a fish is 30 feet. Like that's not realistic. No. You're never going to do that in a million years.
Anyways, we fished till 4:30. Or 5-ish, something like that. We really contemplated staying overnight in that area to have another crack at it. The problem is if we had another crack at it there, the likelihood is, I mean, you know, there were other people there that were coming off the water with 1 bite, 2 bites, and they had been there literally sunrise to sunset. Here we go.
Jody White commented, someone here named Matt is definitely responsible.
I will agree with that. It's a valid point. Okay.
And then Nick is saying, we need to get that mental coach that you had on your mental coach. So like you two clearly need to get the mental lady on the horn to help you with your mindset right now.
We need sleep. Actually, I think today we're gonna go out. We're gonna.
I have
jack on them today.
Zero regrets about our decision yesterday, and we even considered staying overnight, getting a hotel in the area, and returning this morning.
We didn't do that, and part of the reason was for your continued love of your viewership and wanting to make sure you keep them happy, because we had no studio.
How many I didn't. Clay said Pagrek went full sprag on Stefan. Did you? You didn't watch the last team thing where he went nuts on?
No, I saw that
on Thrift.
Thrift, yeah, I saw
and
that.
Thrift is just like, come on, man. We're like, come on, dude.
That was kind of exactly how it went.
No. I never got upset at you.
No,
never once did I ever get upset.
No. Yeah, 100% agree with that. There was never any anger with each other. There was definite frustration.
There's disbelief in the situation
as to how the morning went. And then I think we quickly realized we were just happy to still be alive and not rolled over in a ditch. And then that I
was talking about losing the big one.
Oh, I was talking in the morning. You were pretty fired up about the trailer.
Oh yeah. No, well, I was scared, dude. Like that shook me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. And we worked it out just fine. Some elbow drops, power bombs, things like that.
Yeah. So today, like I said, we're gonna make sure I throw those crappie rods back in the boat because
just to add to that too, if we did have like that, the episode, this is why we need a camera guy because they would have got all that. Instead, we were like in salvation, like how are we going to salvage the day mode? Not thinking at all about the fans out there. If we had camera people, they would have been in the backseat just giggling with laughter because it would have made for a phenomenal episode.
It would. I also didn't wear my In Fisherman hat yesterday, so I feel like that may have helped hurt our mojo.
100%. As my little boy Hank says, 100%.
I say hundo P, which is even worse.
Yeah, that you sound like that would be something Drew Gill would say. It's fire.
I sounded hundo like P. That sounds like I just pledged to a fraternity. Like I'm an 18-year-old kid.
Sounds like a gang.
Hundo P. Hundo P, guys.
Yeah. Okay, let's go fish. Can we go fish now?
Are you asking that?
Yes.
You would like to go fish?
It's your show.
Bart, Nick, by the time we did this, they're like a week or two away from ice up in Minnesota. So Bart had a full calendar schedule, had to go do some stuff at Clam, literally had to go sign autographs.
Well, when we originally picked days in October, and then schedules changed, then that had conflictions with Bart.
Listen, I would like to address this. Mark is on fire. He said Panger channeling his inner Ike and big eyeing every one of the fish from yesterday's show was legendary. I don't feel like I have never been known as a guy who hypes up my fish or big eyes my fish. That was the first time in my life that I had caught that many hybrid stripers. I was also throwing a 7-foot medium action spinning rod for the majority of that challenge. And I just didn't have the experience to know what a 7.5 pound, 25-inch hybrid pulls like.
Find me an angler that would know right off the bat, oh, this is a 7-pounder or 10-pounder, because everyone was like, you better have your drag set right.
Will you help vouch for me that I wasn't exaggerating when after you feel them, you could understand how I would be like, hey, this could be a master angler hybrid.
So just so the viewers know, the way I do the videos is I'll download clips that I've saved throughout the day that are generally based on fish catches. And the clip is just like the fish catch. We had 2.5 hours of just fish catching clips. The majority of the stuff we used was in the beginning because our excitement level was higher because of how, like, not just how many fish we were catching, but like our unfamiliarity with them. He settled down towards the afternoon because at that point we had caught 4,000 fish, and it was like, that feels the same as the last one, right? And you just don't know. I mean, so I do not believe that you were big eyeing the fish on purpose. I thought it was pretty funny because you actually were. Every fish was a master angler for you.
If you guys haven't watched it, if you're not subscribed, head over to Matt Stefan Fishing, the day one recap here. I'm running it right here. There we are at my house. There we are at Grand. And then, I mean, we're like, it's just, minus the tsunami. It's just constant hookups of big fish.
I feel confident we can go back there and catch a master angler of each of those.
there's no, what is the plus side to that though? We have the best white bass and hybrid mega school session that I think we could ever have.
Oh, content wise, it probably wouldn't be great, but I feel like right now we have a good shot. If we
Clay with another good zinger. Is there no net rule for this Master Angler stuff? No. I think maybe one of the reasons why we didn't catch one yesterday was we did put a net in the boat.
Yeah. We forgot the net. I brought a net down. We put it in Panger's truck and then forgot it.
We're doing a good job. We've got a lot of positive comments from Clay.
Okay.
Clay usually will bring us down to reality pretty quick if he wasn't liking the content. He's wishing us good luck. He's kind of ribbing us, giving us a tough time. If Clay's on board with this, we're doing something right.
That sounds good. Thanks, Clay.
Yep.
What time is it? Can we go fishing?
Yeah, it's 7:13. All right. No commercials, just a short little 42-minute recap of yesterday.
I wish there was fish catches from yesterday.
It's good though.
We tried.
I think you're undervaluing yesterday's content.
Okay. It's okay.
Hank says hi, by the way.
Oh, morning, Hank.
He's up early watching it.
He's up already.
I do kind of like the early morning. Should I add like just an early morning chat show?
It's
a 6 a.m. just to kind of get ready for what we're going to do. That not between me and you. I mean, for me,
we were going to go live at like midnight last night.
Yeah, you started driving, and then when I woke up, you powered through 2.5 hours.
Yeah, you woke up in the driveway.
I woke up in the driveway and immediately said, "No show, we'll do it in the morning." We walked in, went to bed. Yeah, I think maybe just a little half hour like coffee with BTL that talks about like what we've got going on that day. If I want to like address any of the issues, we can chat. Any of the guys have questions, throw some more content out there for guys who have to go to work. They can listen to it on the way there, and then boom, 8:30, then I can go right into my guests, and I don't have to like muddy the show with like a 15-minute montage of what chat. We got to do that segment.
Oh, the what
you could say
what chaps your butt.
Yeah. We've come up with the greatest idea in fishing. It's going to be a segment at the end of either Matt's show or mine. It's called "You Know What Really Chaps My Ass." And we're going to have different people in the industry come on.
They get 1 minute.
It's going to be two. I thought we said 2.
Okay, 2.
It's going to be an open floor, 2 minutes, where they have to say that saying. Yeah. They go, "You know what, really?" And then they've got 2 minutes, and then when the clock runs out, the show's just over. Like as soon as 2 minutes, boom, it's over.
I think that's perfect for you because you can do it with every guest that comes in. You get 2 minutes if you'd like.
At the end of the show, any guest that comes on, I'm like, hey, as a bonus, just so you know, so you can be prepared for this, you're going to get the opportunity to take part in this new segment.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could get like a Gene. No, you don't want jeans to chap. What would be a good sponsor for that segment? Like this segment sponsored by.
You need a chap company. Somebody makes some good chaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a chapstick company. You need the gene. Yeah.
I need like a. Yeah, I can't even say. I was gonna say I need like a lotion company because if like chaps, like you need to.
I was thinking along the lines of like Dr. Squatch, like the soap you left for me as an inside joke.
Yeah, that might work. All right, let's go fishing, Matt Stefan. Another video will be out tomorrow. I'm not sure. We might do a live show tonight. It is Friday, July. My God.
July.
It's Friday, November 15th. If you guys haven't had a chance, it is in the description right now. Sign up through the 18th for the AFCO Reaper bundle. Completely free for BTL listeners. We'll announce the winner after that. Like I said before, the trade-off is you have to put your email and phone number in there for them. So I'm sure they're going to send you occasional, hey, AFCO, this is the stuff you can buy, right? The only other thing is there might be a picture of me in there since they used me for a lot of the clothing this past spring. So, but then you're registered and entered for it. and then you can unsubscribe afterwards if you don't. Oh yeah, we're not doing it tonight. Well, maybe we are.
But
Tyson and Paul fight tonight.
what people want us to watch it? I said we should watch it.
Yeah.
We'll probably watch it eventually. Do they want us to comment on it, or they just want us to watch it?
Huh?
I don't know. Tyson's gonna. Well, Tyson.
Ryan, I'm not looking like a lumberjack. I'm looking like Babe Winkleman, and I'm looking like In Fisherman. I look like I'm about to go get 24 fat heads and then throw in an extra dozen of leeches on the way out, even though they're a little bit more expensive than they should be.
They've gone up a lot of price recently.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them supply and demand.
This has been another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live. Watch the videos on Matt Stefan Fishing, the Master Angler in Fisherman Challenge. Wish us luck today. See ya.
We have to.